We are back with another week of Pokemon Draft League, where we take on Arc and his Jamestown Judgment in Week 7 of the BBR. We picked up our first loss of the season last week against Leo, probably the worst game I have played so far this season, making some comical plays with our endgame Volcarona. Our goal this week is to get back on track and getting a big win in our quest for first place in the standings at the end of the regular season. If you have been enjoying the Pokemon Draft League content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are still working towards our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and every subscription helps a ton along that journey. Getting into the matchup, our team consists of Meowscarada, Iron Hands, Volcarona, Screamtail, Landorus Incarnate, Blastoise, Dragonite, Registeel, and Bruxish. Arc's team consists of Greninja, Walking Wake, Corviknight, Moltres, Kleavor, Goodra Hisui, Terrakion, Gardevoir, and Weezing. The biggest thing to look out for in this matchup is Arc's lack of a ground type. Having used more defensively based Iron Hands all season, this finally gives us an opportunity to showcase Iron Hands offensively this week, with his defensive switch-ins being exploitable by the set we plan on bringing. Thunder Wave is also going to be a very powerful move here, with no ground types to deter it from being clicked, meaning he will have a difficult time to make more aggressive doubles against our defensive walls. Arc's biggest threat this week is Walking Wake, which even without the sun to leverage photosynthesis and boosted Hydro Steams, still puts pressure on a majority of our team. Screamtail is a slam dunk answer usually to this Pokemon, but we're going to need to rely on it for other Pokemon on Arc's team as well, such as the Gardevoir and Moltres. Having multiple defensive answers to this Pokemon while making sure they are able to actually deal damage to the Walking Wake is going to be critical to managing this Pokemon, where our only fast check in Meowscarada is really easy for Arc to switch into. Our lead for this week is Choice Scarf Meowscarada, giving us a way to outspeed all Greninja and Walking Wake sets. Running a full set of coverage moves this week, dropping U-turn as our goal with this set is to attack the aforementioned Pokemon or knock off key items on Pokemon like Corviknight and Weezing. Our other moves this week are fairly standard, with Play Rough to kill both the Greninja and Walking Wake, Flower Trick for Greninja, Terrakion, and Kleavor with higher accuracy, and Low Kick for the Goodra Hisui. His team is very likely to consist of both Weezing and Corviknight, which will lower the set's utility in the early game, but given the threat of Battle-Bronc Greninja and Walking Wake can prove to be in the endgame, Choice Scarf is a great catch-all to beat all these problematic Pokemon in the late game. We finally leave our Assault Vest behind, bringing a Swords Dance plus Substitute Iron Hands set this week. With no ground type, Thunder Punch at +2 does a massive amount of damage to Arc's team with limited counterplay outside of his Weezing. Substitute allows us to set up on a passive Corviknight set without Brave Bird, and Weezing, which with our 204 special defense EVs, cannot break our Substitute with Sludge Wave. This allows us to get to +2 and kill Weezing behind a Substitute, guaranteeing an additional kill on the Pokemon coming in to break our Substitute. Drain Punch is our other stab of choice, gaining crucial HP back along with their leftovers when we are attempting to set up multiple substitutes against the Weezing with Gunk Shot that can break our substitute about half the time with our 80 defense EVs. To manage Arc's Walking Wake, we add specially defensive Screamtail to the team. Even though there is no sun aspect to his team, it is important to have a consistent defensive check to that Pokemon, as well as his Gardevoir and Moltres. Heavy Duty Boots protects us from entry hazards, keeping our switch-in calcs consistent over time, preventing him from using late-game hazards to disrupt our ability to switch into Walking Wake. Wish is crucial to this defensive set, allowing us to be able to check Walking Wake multiple times throughout the game. Due to this Pokemon having plenty of opportunity to get in with its role of checking Walking Wake, we are electing to use it as our Stealth Rocker this week, putting pressure on his Walking Wake and Greninja HP stats, important for our defensive wall's ability to be able to kill these Pokemon if need be. Baton Pass gives us some momentum, getting big turns for offensive threats like Landorus and Meowscarada, and Dazzling Gleam gives us a way to hit both their Greninja and Walking Wake super effectively, helping chip those Pokemon down. Unfortunately, if Arc brings Choice Specs Walking Wake, it is unlikely our Screamtail is going to be able to get the job done on its own. Registeel joins the team as a secondary answer to the Walking Wake, as well as providing some key defensive value against Gardevoir and Greninja. Thunder Wave, as we mentioned in the matchup, is great against Arc's team due to the lack of ground type, and Registeel is the perfect Pokemon to be able to leverage that move. Heavy Slam is standard coverage for our Registeel, allowing us to deal massive damage to any Gardevoir set that we are switching into. Body Press allows us to kill Greninja and get big damage on Walking Wake, and with Rock Slide as a final move to get very aggressive against a Moltres that wants to switch in. While we are primarily focused on Arc's specially offensive threats, we still have to be prepared for his Terrakion as well as the Moltres. This set is as standard as it comes as a defensive Blastoise, with Rapid Spin to remove any hazards that may become important in the endgame against our Meowscarada. Flip turn allows us to maintain momentum when we come in on the Moltres or Terrakion and they are not in a position to be able to kill us, keeping offensive pressure with our otherwise defensive build. Surf allows us to kill either of those Pokemon if they are threatening setup turns, and Dragon Pulse gives us coverage to deal big damage to the Walking Wake, which we are able to live hits from if we are at high enough HP. Despite having a lot of ground resists on his team, Landorus has a great matchup when we use the move Gravity. Pokemon like Corviknight and Weezing that may be used to check Landorus are generally unable to threaten it offensively, meaning that we can use Gravity to open up a massive turn to click Life Orb Earth Power. We have Nasty Plot as a way to set up an endgame sweep if we are able to deal with his faster threats like Greninja and Walking Wake, though that is highly unlikely. Sludge Wave is our coverage move of choice, prioritizing the Calcs against Gardevoir, with Earth Power and Gravity in combination being enough to deal with the rest of his team. And that is our team for week number 7 of the BBR. Let me know what you think of the team in the comments down below. That's all I got for this week. Let's get right into the battle. Game time, we're playing against Arc. He's brought Moltres, Greninja, Gardevoir, Corviknight, Walking Wake, and Weezing. I'm going to lead Meowscarada. The reason I want to lead Meowscarada is Choice Scarf Meowscarada leads well into his entire team. My plan was to lead Blastoise or Registeel in this matchup. I was kind of between those two leads, but he doesn't have a lead Kleavor, which would have been the determining factor for going for that lead. So a little bit of a different game plan as a result, but good luck, have fun to Arc. Let's get right into it. Let's see what he leads off with. Greninja, that's a really good lead for me, because I am Choice Scarfed. I can actually just go for an attack here pretty freely. He might expect, I mean, I don't know what he would expect. He might be Choice trying to bait this. I mean, it's a possibility, by all means, but you know, I'll just attack him, Flower Trick. Let's just see if with my Choice Scarf, can I get him? Can I get him? Is he gonna have Choice Scarf Greninja for this situation, and I can pick up a quick kill? I think it's worth going for it. I think, especially where if he doesn't go for that, he's just gonna go for a U-turn, and I don't really gain momentum anyway in that situation. So let's just go for this. If he switches out, he switches out. All right, he was Choice Scarf. That's unfortunate for him. He could also be Focus Sash lead. He is Focus Sash lead, so we should be fine. Oh, I guess Ice Beam does kill us here. Yeah, I guess I should have Play Roughed there in that spot to go for that. Oh, he just has Counter. Wow. All right. Well, that did not come up in preparation at all. I did not even think about that once. That is unfortunate. Maybe I should have knocked to play it safe there. We lose Meowscarada, which is a little bit annoying. This Pokemon wasn't particularly good in this matchup. It was good to have a check to Walking Wake. We still have a lot going on against the Walking Wake still. Our Iron Hands is just going to have to really ball out now in this game. I think at this point I'm just going to go into my Scream Tail. What Scream Tail is going to allow me to do is set up rocks and then get in my Iron Hands on the Corviknight for free. That's a turn sequence I really want to go for here. Is just get up my Stealth Rocks. He could have Gunk Shot. I guess I'm not even... Am I even like thinking about what I'm doing at this point? Wow. Luckily, because of the fact that this is Terra, not Terra, this Protean into a fighting type, we're fine. But we got up our rocks. Holy crap! I gotta actually play like a normal person. All right, let's go into Registeel here. I'm just all over the place. All right, he switches out. So now that Pokemon's going to be dead on the return back in, and I don't know what he got my ass on that one. I go right into Registeel here as he goes into Moltres. Now I'm okay with this switch, honestly, because we managed to deal with the what's it called? We'll go into Blastoise here. We managed to deal with the Greninja entirely, so that's one of the big threats out of the way. And our Iron Hands, if he's not Gunk Shot on Weezing, is going to be put us in a really good situation here. Man, I cannot believe I played so poorly into the first few turns of prep. Hey, it is what it is. Focus back up and we can pull this game out still. We have, Greninja being gone is huge here. We just have to be mindful of Walking Wake here to end this battle, and hopefully Iron Hands will be able to pull us through with that. Alright, Flame Charge is coming out. Weakness Policy. So Weakness Policy is like the first thing that comes to mind here. as to what he could be trying to do with his flame charge set. Do I have actually a good way to play around that? I guess I still have Iron Hands. I have to use HP on Iron Hands to do that. I'm just going to surf. If he has weakness policy, he has weakness policy, but he doesn't. Okay. So that's good to know. Alright, he goes into this. It's going to take a little bit of damage. It takes a little bit of... So we know that it's taking some rocks damage. We're at good HP for Timid Choice Specs. Timid Choice Specs can actually kill from this range, and Dragon Pulse is not doing a lot here. Unfortunately, we've taken so much damage on this Screamtail because I just like completely blanked on the idea of Gunk Shot for some reason. That's just super unfortunate. I'm gonna go into it though. I'm gonna have to go into it and see if he wants to just go hard Hydro Steam here. I think that's my best, play to go for here in this situation. If he goes, he either goes for, he goes for Draco, and then if he goes for Hydro Steam on my Wish, then we should be fine in that sequence. He might just flip turn here. That's, always a possibility, but this is not in range where Dragon Pulse really matters, especially where the Draco Meteor can just kill us from that range. So he's just going to surf. Okay. 189 to... So that did 99 damage. So that is just Timid 252 right here in that spot. Unfortunately, I think we just have to sack this, which is not great. I really don't like that as a turn sequence. Well, we can go, we can go in and get it to a KO with our Iron Hands, and we're not too threatened by pretty much anything that he wants to go for. So I guess I haven't got a kill on anything yet. The thing is, Iron Hands can put us in a really good spot here, so we just have to take advantage of that if we get the opportunity. I'll just Dazzling Gleam here. I could Wish, but we'll just sack this off. This is always killing. Yeah, really unfortunate turn. If I didn't take the Gunk Shot there unnecessarily, then we would have been in a fine spot. So this game, it's going a little bit off the rails here. So we got to kind of get back on the rails, as it were. So here what I want to do is I just want to Thunder Punch. If he goes into Wheezing, I can substitute on that pretty freely here. I could Drain Punch as well. I guess Drain Punch is more relevant because if I want to go for the setup and damage the Wheezing more, I have the Sword Sand substitute option for that. So I'll Drain Punch to cover him staying in this situation. You could get aggressive and go into something like Moltres, but I think you go into Wheezing here because that's assuredly what your Wheezing is for in this spot. You don't sack what looks like a Flame Charge win condition Moltres to the Iron Hands here. So that's going to take a little bit more rocks when it comes back in. Chip on that is nice because we do have Blastoise with the, what's it called, the Draco, or the Dragon Pulse, and he's just going to sack this off. Okay. So goodbye Greninja. Greninja is dead to Iron Hands. Or dead to, what's it called, Screamtail. So another kill for Screamtail. We're going to get some leftovers back. I really want to see him go into something like a Wheezing here. Wheezing would be really nice to see here. Although I kind of expect it to be Gardevoir, most likely, in this specific spot. Man, imagine if I got up a substitute there. That would have been a super, super good play. Would have prevented this Gardevoir from coming in and being able to really put pressure on my team. But unfortunately, at this point, we kind of have to. We're kind of in the situation we're in. So I'm going to go into Registeel here. And at this point, I think I want to Rock Slide, calling the Moltres if Arc gives me that positioning. He's taking his time to think through this one, which makes me think he's trying to predict, make a Focus Blast read here. Oh, he's going to double out. If he goes into Moltres, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, he just does go into Moltres. That's okay. I don't mind him getting aggressive here, honestly. Because I still have high HP Blastoise, these turns aren't really causing a lot. The question here is, do I... The problem is I need this Pokemon still, so I can't actually get aggressive yet on the Flame Charges and stuff. So I'm just going to have to go into Blastoise. I'm okay with that, to be honest. It is what it is. And he just goes for the Fire Blast. Okay, so he's trying to see if I'm going to start predicting his aggressive plays. Now, I am going to be able to get a slow flip turn off here. That's going to be good for me. I need to get some momentum back into this game to kind of change the tides of how this is going, because this is not going great by any means right now, which is what's really nice about this spot, though, is if we learn what Gardevoir is in terms of move-wise, that's going to do a lot of damage, and it confuses me. That's not good. Would really, really like to get this flip turn off here. Alright, I get a flip turn off, which is good. It's going to do about half. And I'm in a spot where I can go Lando. Landos are really, really good. You know, we know it's not Scarf, so we can just go Lando here pretty freely. I could go for the I mean, he has to fear the rock move here from Landorus. Sludge Wave probably like has a chance to kill this anyway with the Life Orb set that I'm running. The question is do I nasty plot here? Is there a reason to do that? I should just go for, I think I'm just going to go for the Sludge Wave. He could go Weezing, could go Corviknight. Both those Pokemon don't really do anything to me, so I'm just going to Sludge Wave, see if he gives me this Pokemon. He's not going to, okay. Would have been nice to have nastied on that turn, but I still have this as a check. And we can still see what he wants to go into. So he still goes into the Corviknight here. Corviknight's fine. Corviknight actually doesn't really do anything to me here. Brave Bird. Brave Bird is doing like a good amount of damage, but if I set up the gravity here, then he has a really wretched time in switching into this. He could U-turn into Walking Wake here. That would be a good play on his part to protect against this. But I kind of think he's going to defog, honestly. I think he wants to get these rocks away because rocks are pretty good against his team at this point. Oh, he's just going to Brave Bird. So that's going to do about half here to me. Oh my god, that did way more than half. Is that Choice Banded? That is freaking Choice Banded. What's it called? Freaking Corviknight. Jesus. Okay, well, this Earth Power is still killing. So I'm going to be able to pretty much pick up a kill here. Against like anything, and then that's gonna force in the Walking Wake after the fact. So I get a kill, Walking Wake then comes in, and our Iron Hands is still looking pretty good here, all things considered. This was one of the setup targets, unfortunately, for Iron Hands. I think what's gonna kind of be my undoing here is losing the Scream Tail. Honestly, there's not really you know, that kind of just put that whole situation on its head. So if I'm him, I go Walking Wake here. The reason that I think that he goes Walking Wake here is that it protects the information of that Pokemon. Yeah, so you really want to protect the information that this Pokemon can provide, the information of this Pokemon, because it's not really a good situation. You don't want to reveal Gardevoir's item at this point. This is really going to have to be a clutch up from Iron Hands. We're really going to need this to be Sludge Wave, a Weezing in the back. I need to keep this Pokemon around because this Pokemon checks the Moltres still. It can, in theory, can check the Gardevoir. Blastoise, I think, just has to go here. I think that's just got to be what it is. Goodbye, Blastoise. You put up a good fight here. Would love to see. I mean, I don't think there's any planet in which he clicks Draco Meteor here, but I mean, it's, you know, I guess we have to be mindful of that. He just goes for the Flamethrower. The Flamethrower covering the Registeel. Yep. Makes sense. Of course, John logs on in the middle of the battle, interrupting what we got going on here. All right, Iron Hands time. I could go for a Substitute here. Substitute would be a good play. It would protect against that Gardevoir and then really open up a good set of turns here. It would put me at low HP, but then if he goes into something like the Weezing, I can Swords Dance and break through that. So I think my best way to win this game at this point is to go for... Draco Meteor does not put me out of sub-range, so I'm just going to go for the... This is such a tough call. I could just go for a Thunder Punch here even as well. I think Thunder Punch is actually the safest option here. Yeah, I'm going to go for Thunder Punch because if he flip turns, he's just going to hard withdraw. Okay. Man, if I subbed, that would have been great, but I think that Thunder Punch is going to give me the same result here at the end of the day. All right, perfect. Yeah, this is what we're looking for here. We get the kind of the rest of the information that we need on this Pokemon. Any Paralyzers? No. Okay, so this is not Rocky Helmet, which actually makes this a little bit easier. So we gotta hope that this is not Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot makes this a little bit more difficult. If this is Sludge Wave, then I think we're in a really, really good spot because we're EV to never die to a Sludge Wave under Substitute here. So we're gonna be able to get out of this Pokemon with the Substitute up. And if he goes for something like a Will-O-Wisp here, then that's gonna be massive, massive here. Oh, he is Gunk Shot. Okay, that's unfortunate. I do have 80 defense EVs, so we'll see if that actually matters. No, it doesn't. Frig. Alright, so he is prepared for this specific situation. Gravity returns to normal. I'm not killing, so Gunk Shot. I have a chance to actually live this Gunk Shot for my sub to actually live here. I probably should have set it up so I could have lived and not used the speed here. I'm going to go for another substitute here because there's a good chance this actually doesn't break sub. There's like about half the rolls don't break sub here. Oh, he just explodes. Well, I'm glad I subbed. I protected that from happening. From really causing a problem. But I think that free turn is going to allow in Gardevoir, which is a problem. I mean, I still have enough here, realistically, potentially, to get out of this. I do think I still have enough because Iron Hands against Walking Wake. What is the calc? Draco Meteor is not killing here. The question is do I call a Focus Blast? Is it worth calling Focus Blast here? Alright, let me think through the line here. If I is Thunder Punch a winning play in this spot? Does it even kill? I mean, it should kill, surely. Yeah, Thunder Punch kills. Moonblast from Timid obviously kills. Do I actually need this? Body Press is not dealing a lot. I think honestly the sack, I think I just go this. I think this might be the safest situation I still have. I still live Draco Meteor from Walking Wake at this point, and if he goes for the fairy move, I don't think he's gonna go for the Focus Blast on this turn. That's a really hard move to click. Yeah, he just goes for the Moonblast. Okay. So his Trace. I think this has to be Choice Scarf given this matchup. I think this has to be Choice Scarf. I get a powerful T-Wave off here though. Or do I go for the Rock Slide? I mean, Moltres dies to Rock Slide here. Oh, I'm calculating some fucking bullshit Fizz Depth set. I'm just gonna go for the Rock Slide. I think he's just gonna go hard into, or I'm gonna go for T-Wave first, because if he for some reason goes Walking Wake, then catching that with a T-Wave is also game saving here. And this gives me the same Rock Slide turn. Okay, so he goes here. I really need this T-Wave to hit. All right, perfect. So I should be able to. I don't outspeed this right now, which is not good. Man, if I should have Rock Slided there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. And that was just not a good play. I mean, I live all hits from this, so I'm just gonna go for. I think I just go for the Rock Slide here. If I get the para, then I probably win. Yeah, if I Rock Slided, I think that was actually a better play. I don't think there was a world he was going into. What's it called? Oh, I am faster. Okay, perfect. So he's not max speed. All right. So there was no world. I guess he was going Walking Wake there. Is Registeel gonna clutch this up? Is this a Registeel endgame? I don't think there's anything Walking Wake can really do. The fact that he switched out makes me believe this is probably Choice Scarf on the, what's it called, on the thing. In comes this. I think I just sack off the Landorus at this point. Landorus doesn't outspeed and kill anything at this point, so Landorus is gone. Goodbye, Landorus. Had a decent game, but we have to sell the Gravity Tech at least once this season, and we're probably going to see a kill here. Goodbye to the Flamethrower, and now we can bring out Iron Hands. And Iron Hands, do we have to click anything different here? I guess they both do the same, so I'm just going to go into Iron Hands. Draco Meteor never kills, because we know he's not Choice Specs here. I guess he could be Modest. Modest has one roll that kills, and this Thunder Punch doesn't actually kill, but that's perfectly fine. We just need to put it in range of one attack from the, is this gonna come down to, okay, Registeel takes that much. Focus Plus does shit all to Registeel, actually. It doesn't actually matter too much. I think I just Thunder Punch here. I could Drain Punch, but I think Registeel should actually be able to ball out the rest of this game. If he goes for Draco, he goes for Draco, that's fine. He's not really doing anything actually to my Registeel after the fact. He's just gonna Surf, okay. So if I went for the Drain Punch, that would have been really good. So I was at 280, did about 180. Yeah, if I Drain Punch, then he's dead here. But again, I think we're fine here, given the calcs on these Pokemon. I think Registeel should have way more than enough HP to get this job done here. This is a very, very stressful game, and we still have to dodge some crits and some fiction here to get out of this. And this could still be Expert Belt. I don't think Expert Belt actually changes any of the calcs on the Registeel. Yeah, yeah, I think this has to be Specs Gardevoir, which, given the way he's played it, it doesn't seem like it would be. Okay. So yeah, I guess if I Draco, that gives me a safer line here in this game. But Registeel still being at full HP, and we have leftovers too. Like leftovers still is going to help out here. I have to go for the body press here. I don't think it actually matters too much. If he goes into Gardevoir on this specific turn, it doesn't actually change the calcs. So we just go for body press, guarantee the KO on this. If he goes into the other Pokemon, then we just heavy slam and then we're fine here. So I think we've pulled this one out. He goes for the flamethrower. This should do, yeah, that looks to be don't burn. Oh my god. Oh, the flamethrower burn. I guess, I mean, I've been punted. I've gotten my fair share of luck this season, so I guess it's hard for me to really complain. Heavy slam. Do I still kill while burned? Like, what is this HP at? It's taken a few rounds of rocks, certainly. But, yeah, I guess, I guess, you know, at the end of the day, I'm punished for playing particularly poorly there. If I go for the Drain Punch, then that Pokemon is just dead, and maybe that's just me being too passive in the situation. Yeah, this is definitely not in range of the burn. So, yeah, a very good burn to get there on the end for Arc. And I think we're kind of stumbling at the end of the season here. Kind of give me some fiction here. Give me some fiction back. Give me a crit. Give me a Focus Blast Miss. Give me something to work with. Okay, a triple axle. Maybe a misclick on that turn. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe he feels bad about the burn at the end and is giving me the game. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that click. We should live all Focus Blasts, and I guess we win? Yeah, alright, cool. We beat Arc in week number 7 of the BBR. Maybe he just doesn't have Focus Blast, and he has Triple Axle. Maybe he just didn't have the fighting move for this. I'm kind of confused here as to what's going on, to be honest. I'll have to ask him after the game. But look, I mean, I think the turning point in that game was, you know, the Greninja sequence early. I just played around that horribly. That's the second time in the last 2 BBR seasons someone has tried to get me with one of those Focus Sash counter sets. Owen tried to and didn't get me with it, but I got with it this time, and then
And that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already and made it this far. Next week, we play against John Jr. and his Portland Nightshaders. That is a huge game for John. Make sure you check out his battle this week as well against OG Albina. That is probably the biggest game this week. So if you haven't already, make sure to watch that one. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, have a wonderful day.